Under the topic of what is considered nursing home abuse, it's a fairly broad topic for a narrower term. It doesn't necessarily only mean purposeful abuse, but it certainly can include that. And occasionally that does happen where, unfortunately for many people who are in nursing homes, because that's exactly why they're in the nursing home, because they have limitations on their physical, emotional, perhaps communicative abilities. So if you have somebody who's laid up in a bed and can't really do much for him or herself, and particularly if that person can't communicate very well, that is a situation that is set up for if someone wants to, in any way, not abuse that person, or even if not intentionally, just by perhaps losing their temper, whatever it is, that is something that can happen. However, the term is much broader than that. And often we see people, because of the fact that so many nursing homes now have been acquired by large national financial entities, they're looking to maximize their return on their investment in those companies. So they've cut down substantially on the level of staffing in these nursing homes, many of them. I would say even most of them at this point. So that in some of them, particularly at night, where there's even a lower level of staffing, it's entirely possible that someone, let's say, who wants to go to the bathroom and can't walk and needs, two people to assist her to go to the bathroom, cannot find a nurse or an aide to come help. They have to go, they fall, break a hip, whatever it might be, and they go downhill from there. And it's not, to say the least, it's not helpful to that person's health and overall well-being. That's a fairly common thing nowadays. Another example, unfortunately, of what we tend to see also largely because of low staffing levels is people who are immobile and can't move for one reason or another. Usually physically they're just not capable of it. They're in a bed. They need to be turned periodically according to their care plan so that they're not putting all of their pressure on a couple of points that make contact with the mattress 24/7. So somebody, a nurse or an aide, needs to come and turn them, move their position every couple hours. Otherwise, what happens is you're going to have skin and tissue breakdown in these places, like, for example, the back of the heels or the bottom of the spine, where your rear is on the mattress, and areas like that. You're going to have development of what they call decubiti or pressure sores, and over time those can get worse and worse and worse and become really debilitating and painful. So that's another form of abuse which doesn't necessarily fit with what most people think of the term abuse, but it does happen. Of course, there's also, unfortunately, instances where people, a large percentage, certainly way more than your average population of people in nursing homes, might have different levels of cognition. They might have dementia, something like that. And along with that can come other complications, not simply loss of memory. There can be not a great ability to interact socially as they used to have. And that can make people have a short temper and kind of lash out at people who are trying to help them. And that sometimes engenders a response which is kind of, I guess some would say, human nature, to be defensive and lash out back. Unfortunately, the people against whom someone's lashing out back cannot fend for him or herself. And so there can be injuries incurred that way as well. These are all kinds come within the heading of what we call nursing home abuse. And we see more and more of these cases every year. So if you're aware of a loved one that's in a nursing home and isn't getting the care that you expect that he or she should, by all means, give us a call.